a bit, pack it into a ball, and just have a snow fight.
It is going to be brutally cold overnight. That's why we continue with that first alert. Just how cold will it get in your backyard? It's all coming up.
These are my guys now. The guys that are here at UTEP are our guys, and we're going to grow with them.
They are his and he is ours. New UTEP football coach Dana Dimmel says hello to the borderland. Plus a case of tuberculosis at an El Paso school. ABC 7 at 10 starts now.
Live, where news comes first, from the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC 7 at 10.
For those who are wanting the cooler temperatures, you got it, and then some. The borderland got hit with snow flurries this morning and into the afternoon hours, and while some were prepared, like this dog in downtown El Paso wearing a jacket, others still came outside wearing flip-flops. At least he had socks on. The snow has since melted, but the problem tonight will be the colder temperatures and the chance for some black ice on the roadways. That is why we remain under an ABC 7 storm track first alert. Chief Meteorologist Doppler Dave Spillman is standing by with the very latest. Doppler?
Yeah, you know, some folks wanted it cold, but not this cold. I mean, it's going to be, as we've been talking about, brutally cold by tomorrow morning. But, you know, that's the reason we issued that first alert Sunday evening, just to give you a heads up that we would see the rain, we would see the snow, and then the very cold temperatures. Look at what we're dealing with out there right now. White Sands 25, Powell at 29 degrees, Fabens 26 at this hour, Presa at 31, Texas Tech is at 32 degrees. Want to take you to some of the other sites and just show you what those temperatures are like right here at ABC 7 Studios. We're 30. Texas Tech, Trans Mountain at 29. Look at Anthony, New Mexico. Wow, 23 degrees. And out at the airport, we're holding at 30 in Las Cruces at the airport. At 24, Alamogordo, 23. Look at Sierra Blanca at 25. And even Van Horn, 24. But it's going to get colder by tomorrow morning. We'll talk about just how cold it will get. Your weekend. I know you're wondering how it looks for your Saturday and Sunday. We'll talk all about it coming up.
All right, Doppler, let's take you outside for a live look at El Paso's highways with the help of the TxDOT traffic cameras. Again, not too much of an issue right now, but you can see there are some cars out there. I-10 and Lee Trevino, things looking good. The snow didn't stop students from going to school today. The school districts tell us they will be monitoring the weather overnight and then decide if there will be any closures or delays tomorrow. While the weather was welcomed by most, it requires planning on the school's part. Schools at the El Paso School District keep students warm by adjusting thermostats, keeping doors closed, and keeping students inside during recess and PE. EPISD also actively monitors weather conditions in order to determine if students will be safe as they make their way to school.
On nights like last night and days like today, our Safe and Secure Schools manager will camp out at the Office of Emergency Management. He watches all the data and the monitors with the other experts, and so they're monitoring roads overnight.
The district's goal is to make a decision by 5 a.m. You'll want to wake up to Good Morning El Paso to know what to expect. We're live starting at 4:30 a.m. The show runs until 7. If schools decide to delay the start time, they'll announce that around 5, and we'll make sure to update you. We'll send you breaking or severe weather alerts as well to your phone when you download the free ABC 7 News or the ABC 7 Weather and Traffic app. TxDOT has activated emergency operations due to the borderlands winter weather. ABC 7's Stephanie Guadian shows us what that means. Stephanie?
Rick, the combination of freezing temperatures and rain or snow can add up to black ice out on the roadways, and that is just one of the dangers that TxDOT is looking for tonight.
Activating emergency operations at TxDOT's Traffic Management Center means crews are working around the clock. Management has been brought in to help keep an eye on the wall-to-wall monitors showing real-time traffic throughout El Paso County and beyond.
In Van Horn alone, we have 14, 15 trucks.
TxDOT actually has trucks that we send out to monitor the roadway temperature. They're able to, they're outfitted with thermometers to read the temperature pavement. And so we can tell where the pavement's freezing and where it needs attention just by patrolling those roadways.
Potentially life-saving technology. Trackers on the trucks let the control center know exactly where they are and how the driver is using the vehicle to make roads safer.
Whether we need to activate a snow plow or some de-icing through saline solution, or put salt and a combination of sand and salt on the roadways so that the driving conditions are more favorable. Or in extreme and rare cases, we will close the roadway.
Law enforcement is also brought in to help manage any emergency out on the roads. The idea is to speed up communication between the agencies.
If, for example, DPS knows of an area, where there's some trouble, they'll tell us, and we can call them from here, dispatch from.
Workers can instantly put up emergency messages on highway signs, warning of an accident ahead or the possibility of black ice. Everyone here is keeping a close eye on the weather. That's ABC7's Kyle Hansen on the background television screen during one of his forecasts. The crew is prepared for a long night. They have 6 counties in western Texas to cover, and tonight is expected to be even colder.
TxDOT's emergency operations are expected to be up and running through noon tomorrow. Rick?
All right, good information. Stephanie, thank you very much. The Extreme Weather Task Force is working hard to keep people warm during this cold snap and all winter long. Donations of blankets and heaters are being passed out to people in need. If you would like to receive some help, just call 211. Donations can also be made at any local fire station.
Right now, we see the weather just drop drastically from one day to another day, and there's some people out there currently don't have any heaters, don't currently have any way of heating up. It's so blanket's going to make a difference.
If you haven't already, now's the time to make sure your heater is running properly. If you don't do maintenance on your heater year-round, that increases the chances it won't start when the cold gets here. And when it doesn't start, leave it to the professionals, especially since it involves carbon monoxide, which can be deadly. Weather tech Benjamin Macho says cold houses can be avoided if you keep your unit clean.
Change your filter, make sure that your sensors are clean, make sure that there's the vent is, a lot of times birds make a nest up there. So just to maintenance is the main thing. So that way when days like this, you won't have any problems.
Year-round maintenance is recommended so you don't have any problems this time of year. And again, if you have a problem, call a professional. Check these out. Viewers sent ABC7 pictures from all over the borderlands showing us how they spent their day in the snow. Here's a picture of the mountains, and look at all that snow. Looks like a picture, and there was plenty of it for those viewers to make a snowman. Looks like they were just getting started. There's going to be a little bit of dirt in there too, it looks like. 150 YISD high school students will be tested for tuberculosis because they may have been exposed to it. But after the announcement, many were left in the dark as to which school the possible exposure might have occurred at. YISD says it was initially asked by the City of El Paso's Health Department not to say they attend Hanks High School, but received permission after receiving harsh criticism from concerned parents. ABC7's Jerry Nakara is live with the information you need to know. Jerry?
Rick, I met with the city's lead epidemiologist who tells me how TB can be transmitted, what symptoms to look out for, and when parents can expect to be notified.
Our message to our community is not to be alarmed.
Fernando Gonzalez, lead epidemiologist for the city's Department of Health, tells me an average healthy individual cannot fall victim to tuberculosis easily.
We need to insist, it's not an easy transmittable disease. It takes much time and takes close contact.
Tuberculosis is a bacterial illness acquired through breathing in infected droplets from the cough or sneeze of a person with active TB. Right now, health officials are investigating whether the person in question has active TB or inactive TB. A person with inactive TB is not infectious and cannot spread TB to others.
It's not transmittable by checking hands or sharing dishes or any type of personal items.
Gonzalez says there are a few signs to spot TB, mainly a constant cough followed by persistent phlegm.
This phlegm is spotted by blood. Fever, weakness, night sweats, loss of appetite, and loss of weight.
Gonzalez tells me parents are already in the process of being notified.
It's already in the mail, so in the next couple of days, they will be receiving the letter.
Gonzalez says that tuberculosis infection now isn't what it was 30 years ago. With medical advancements, it can be diagnosed and cured fairly quickly.
We are ready to confront this type of events in a timely and highly effective manner.
And Gonzalez says the test consists of a simple blood draw and maybe some x-rays. If you get a letter, you can call the city's health department at 915-212-6609. We have this number on our website as well. Rick.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jerry. Police say the murder of a teen that happened back in October was the result of a botched drug deal. 18-year-old Daniel Raul Torres and 20-year-old Victor Alexander Valerio are both charged with capital murder. They're accused of shooting and killing 17-year-old Juan Manuel Cervantes and Isleta High School student. Investigators say Torres and Valerio planned to rob Cervantes during a drug deal for Xanax, but investigators say it was predetermined they'd rip off Cervantes. Cervantes was shot and killed at the scene. At this point, it's unclear who allegedly pulled the trigger. 3 people are dead, including the gunman, following a shooting at a high school in New Mexico. It happened at Aztec High School in San Juan County. That's about 3 hours west of Albuquerque. Police say the 2 victims were students at the high school. It's not known whether the gunman who was killed was a student. A student who was in class at the time of the shooting said as soon as the gunfire started, her teacher jumped into action.
My teacher locked all the doors and put us in the corner in the dark. I didn't know what was going on, and so everyone just sat there really, really scared. And then my teacher finally got news that there was an active shooter, and so we were all in the corner really scared, and we could just hear shots.
No other injuries were reported. A high school student is accused of bringing a gun to school and leaving it inside his car. It happened at Del Valle High School this morning. 17-year-old Miguel Angel de la Torre is the student who allegedly had a 9mm handgun and ammunition. His bond was set at $2,500. UTEP introduced its new head football coach today. Dana Dimmel held up a jersey with the number 26 on it. Dimmel is the 26th head football coach for the Miners. He was most recently the offensive coordinator at Kansas State. Dimmel said this was the first head coaching job he'd applied for in 15 years. Coming up in sports, we'll tell you why he chose the Miners. Today marks the 76th anniversary of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. On December 7th, 1941, several American ships were destroyed on the day, which will live in infamy. The USS Arizona still remains submerged, along with the remains of some of its crew members. 2,403 people, Americans, were all killed. After the break, our Storm Track First Alert weather coverage continues. Today was a weather road trip for our New Mexico mobile newsroom. They traveled to 5 different communities across the land of enchantment. Doppler?
Well, yeah, get ready. I mean, we're going to be talking about the coldest temperatures in maybe a couple of years. In fact, you have to go back to the month of December. 23 degrees back in 2015. I'll talk about it next.
New Mexico could see temperatures that dip to 9 degrees. But earlier today in Cloudcroft, our own Kate Beery got to enjoy the refreshing chill of 19 degrees. She traveled to 5 different locations as part of a 250-mile expedition. She started in Las Cruces, then headed to San Agustin Pass, followed by Alamogordo, Cloudcroft, and finally Ruidoso. She made the weather trek with our New Mexico mobile newsroom.
We're here in the Plaza de Las Cruces in the middle of downtown Las Cruces, the heart of the city. It's 9:30 a.m. and temperatures are in the upper 30s.
I love the cold, the crisp. My knees don't like it.
1 hour later, we made it to San Agustin Pass. We're currently at the Orchid Mountains. If you look behind me, you can see a light dusting of the mountains and snow flurries all around me. We're at 5,700 feet and there's a pretty strong breeze.
Pretty uncomfortable today. It's cold.
We're in Alamogordo now where the temperature's 37 degrees, no moisture yet. It's pretty dry and it's cold, but again, it is dry. Now, we're here at the Alameda Park Zoo where there are many animals that are actually very native to this cold weather and don't mind it at all. And this is Susie the otter. She is perfectly comfortable in this weather because she has about 1 million hairs per square inch. Humans only have about 100,000 hairs per square inch.
The temperatures dropped, so that's why we had to bundle up and get outside.
Bye-bye. It's 12:30 in Cloudcroft right now, 18 degrees, the first time we've seen snow, and it's snowing so hard, the snow is so thick that you can actually just grab a bit, pack it into a ball, and just have a snow fight.
Cold. It's very, very cold.
It's 2 o'clock here in Ruidoso, our last stop on the journey, and honestly a little disappointing. There's a few snow flurries around me, but nothing is sticking, and business owners were surprised to learn that it is sticking as far south as El Paso.
It's mind-boggling, you know, it's like, where's the fun in the winter? You know, so hopefully it'll catch up. Hopefully we'll get right behind you guys.
And that was Kate Beer reporting. She had quite the adventure today.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it was a interesting day to say the least. But, you know, we look forward. We're worried about what, frost and fog tomorrow morning,
we're going to see some fog in the morning, so allow yourself some extra time for that. I don't know if you put your car in the garage. You have a garage you put? Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Because if you leave it outside, exposed to the elements, and maybe, you know, just out there in the open, you're going to have to scrape the windows. So you got the scraper tomorrow morning. But if you have it in the garage or under a carport, you're going to be okay.
And it's amazing that we had so much fog yesterday. Suddenly it disappeared and you saw the snow on the mountains, but it was out there for a long time.
Yeah.
What do you got here?
Show and tell, Rick.
All right.
Did you like show and tell?
Is that a microphone? What is that?
It's a light for you, Rick. You know, in the morning, come here, you got a nice bright light for you.
I need it. I need it.
Yeah. No, this is a heat lamp.
Okay.
And the folks at the home improvement store said they're really selling out of these things because people have pets outdoors, some of the pets. They get this heat lamp and it keeps the pet warm. So
can it work with
you
plants too?
Well, it can. Yeah. Put it right down the plant.
Okay.
I'm going to use it
Pets
for my
and
pipes,
plants.
for my well.
Oh, not a bad
That's
idea.
what I'll be doing when I come home. Let me show you what's going on as far as how much snow we picked up across the area. And, you know, nothing too spectacular. The east side of El Paso, about a half an inch to an inch. Las Cruces had reports of some flakes around town. Northeast side, some flurries, according to Brian there. Del City, some flurries there, but they said about 6 miles south of town is where they picked up a couple of inches of snowfall. Sierra Blanca about an inch, and Van Horn anywhere from a half an inch to an inch of snowfall across the area. Want to show you the temperatures overnight tonight. Look at this. We're talking about Fort Bliss, 23. It is just going to be very cold tomorrow morning. Clint at 20. Look at Fabens at 18. Fort Bliss at 23. Elsewhere, Van Horn, you guys at 19. Sierra Blanca at 20. Notice Del City. You folks will also be at 20 degrees. Elsewhere, look at Vinton. 21 there. Canutillo at 21. We got 22 in Horizon City. San Eli at 20 degrees and Tornillo at 22. And again, you have to deal with some fog around town and some frost if your car is exposed to the outdoor elements. And you look at your county cast even up in Hatch in Donietta County. That's where we're talking about right now. Mesilla at 19. Oregon at 17. White Sands, you guys, going to be dropping down to 18 degrees. Again, this is why we're continuing that first alert throughout the morning hours tomorrow. Look at Anthony, New Mexico at 19 degrees. And Sunland Park will be right around 20. Now, we're going to have lots of sunshine tomorrow and over the weekend once that fog begins to burn off just a bit. But we're looking at 47, still below the average for this time of year. And notice the average high temperature of 58. Notice Saturday, 54. Sunday will be right around 60 degrees, really both Sunday and Monday, so maybe a couple of degrees above our average for this time of year. Look at the current temperatures, very cold. We have Alamogordo 25, right at the airport at 30 degrees, Sierra Blanca 25, Van Horn at 24, and out there in Deming and Luna County at 28 degrees. Again, some of your WeatherNet sites, you can see Pressa at 30, Biggs Army Airfield, Fort Bliss 30. Again, all these sites sponsored by the Mattress Firm. Here's your weekend. We're going to start off at 25 Saturday, 27 Sunday morning, 54 will be the high Saturday, and 59 expected on Sunday. Las Cruces for your weekend, warming up a little bit too, although chilly in the morning. 23 Saturday, 25 on Sunday. You'll make it to 53. Got lots of sunshine over the weekend and 57 degrees expected on your Sunday. So overnight tonight, we're getting rid of these clouds now. Skies continue to become clear. Temperatures down to 23 degrees. 47 will be the high temperature tomorrow. Sunrise time will be at 6:53, but we're anticipating, again, clouds and fog kind of hanging around. 19 degrees in Las Cruces, your high tomorrow. We'll make it up to about 45 and watch over the next several days. Again, gradually we'll warm things up. 54 Saturday, as I mentioned, 59 on Sunday. Then watch next week. We're going to be right around the low 60s. Overnight lows going to get a little bit warmer as well. We'll have a look at sports. What's next?
We got great passion for what we're doing, and we care about what we're doing, and we got to win. You know, I'm a winner. And I said, why can't I do it here? Well, there's no reason I can't do it here.
UTEP's new football coach, Dana Demmel, is certainly a confident guy. You can tell there. Now he's got to rebuild the only FBS program that did not record a win this season. Welcome back. I am Trevor Thompson. Now, going winless, not the end of the world. 2 years ago, UCF went 0-12. Today, they're sitting at 12-0. So quick turnarounds are possible. Dana Demmel says he can be the architect of a new era at UTEP. He becomes the 26th coach in program history Demmel introduced at a news conference earlier today, a former head coach at Wyoming and Houston. He comes to us now from Kansas State, where he was their offensive coordinator. Demmel, though, did not promise a quick solution. In fact, he didn't put any sort of timeline on how long it would take to rebuild the program. Instead, Demmel says his goal is to establish long-term success with the Miners.
I don't want to take quick fixes, because if you take quick fixes, you know, you might win, and you might win a little bit early, and in the long run, you're not going to win at all. We're going to do our best to get this program up and going as quickly as we can, but we're not going to take shortcuts.
A little more info on the new head coach. Demmel was a combined 30 and 39 as head coach at Wyoming and then Houston. He was one of 5 finalists for the UTEP head coaching position. UTEP athletic director Jim Center declined, though, to name the other 4 finalists. Center did tell us that Demmel was not on a list that he got from a search committee hired by UTEP to help find the next coach. Here is Jim Center on his first major coaching hire as UTEP's new AD.
I mean, you hope you do as thorough a job as you possibly can, and I'd like to believe that we just hired a guy who's going to do an amazing job based on his track record. I mean, and the truth is, we won't know if this is the best fit until we get year 4, 5, 6 down the road and go, what are the results? And that's no different than when you sign your recruiting class.
Now, we all know, of course, that coaching alone doesn't win championships or even games. You need talent also. Coach Demmel says he has already begun reviewing tape from last season to identify that talent, and he likes what he sees from the running backs, including Josh Fields, the former America star. Also said he likes the talent at wide receiver, although he admitted they're a bit thin at that position. Before today's news conference, Demmel actually had a chance to meet his new players for the very first time.
Right now, I'm evaluating all the players that are coming back. I got to meet them all today. I had them all stand up and introduce themselves to me so I could put the faces and the names to the tape.
What was the nature of that meeting like? What did he say to you guys?
Well, he said that he's our guys, whatever, and he said he's going to change the program around and bring in guys that want to be here. Well, I like the program that he's going to bring in, the guys he's going to bring in, and I believe in him, and I'm 100% UTEP.
And that is your look at sports. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Tell them to our cameras. This is Texas Tech Physician's Office off Trans Mountain Road. And boy, we started off with all the clouds and some snow, and then we break about some of the clouds, and then you can see the snow on the Franklin Mountains. Nice shot over there at Texas Tech. Another look at that 7-day forecast next. All right, get ready for some fog in the morning and frost on your windshield. If you're going to leave your car outdoors, not parked in a garage or under some type of covering like a carport. But look at these temperatures. 23 tomorrow morning. That'll be the low for El Paso. 25 Saturday, 27 Sunday.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Be safe out there.